Hey everybody, it's Kristina of Crafty Paws here. So I wanted to show you guys, I switched from doing a layout with this little cute little Helga Talula doll, Talula girls image that Poetspice here on YouTube gifted me. I added some glossy accents to her boots and her little jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat carryall and to her eyes. And she had a cute little spider dangling from the top of the little Helga's witch's hat. And I switched it out to a pom-pom just so that it would kind of reflect off of the pom-poms at the top of the tag and at the bottom. I layered chevron, gray and black chevron paper with this kind of spackly, like spray paint kind of paper. And then I used a little bit of that paper that came from the advertisement for the play Hamlet here in New York. And I printed out Happy Halloween with kind of drippy font letters. And I ended up having to cover up the two L's with Helga, but I figured her little feet would be like the L's there. And I really like how she came out. And on the back, I used the rest of the advertisement, the saying from Hamlet, from the witches, and just lined the back with rose paper. This is a tag for somebody that I haven't mailed it, obviously. I haven't mailed it out yet. So I'm not going to say who it's going to go to, but I wanted to show you all. Somebody asked me recently how I create envelopes for different size tags and cards and things, so I thought I would do a quick tutorial or process video. And I don't know if the camera's going to show everything, but I'll try and make sure that it's properly in frame. But basically, I take a big piece of paper. This is just pattern paper, and I try to pick a kind of not too heavy paper because that tends to add to the cost of postage. But I line up my paper on my scoreboard, and I line up whatever card I am trying to make an envelope for on the scoreboard, and I just try to make sure that it's either between a ½ inch to a little bit more if possible. And because this tag has so much dimension to it with these pom-poms, I'm going to make the envelope, the interior portion of the envelope, a little bit bigger so that the folds don't have a hard time getting through. And this paper goes through 10½ inches, and then it's a big long piece of paper. It's actually wrapping paper. And I figure if I give it maybe ½ inch and I just score all the way down on both sides, I think that should give enough room on the interior portion. And I'm sure you can't really see that very well, but then I will move this down and just put in, let's see here, a slight crease there. And I'll move this off of the scoreboard now. And this paper is so thin you probably don't need a bone folder. I do like this one. This is a Martha Stewart one. Not the one that came with the scoreboard. That's a little itty-bitty one that's good for travel, but when I'm at home I prefer this one, which is the one that she sells separately, of course. But I think I got mine when Joann's was having a really good sale. I got my scoreboard and the bone folder that comes with it, I want to say for under $20, something like $17 or something like that. And I'm sorry, I didn't score it very well, so I'm kind of rushing. So far it doesn't look like much of an envelope, but let me just take that again in here. Remeasure, and I know that this is going to overlap this way, and I'll just pinch it there. So most of you probably already know this, and that's fine if you want to just turn this off, but I wanted to respond to somebody's specific request, so here I am doing that. And basically it is a bigger flap, the size of the envelope that fits the actual item that I'm going to be mailing, and then a little top flap. And what I like to do is just cut the corners out of the top flap and also the bottom. And if you took your time, it would be better, because I'm just doing this with scissors, trying to do this relatively quickly and not make a super long, boring video. And then I actually like to round the edges, the corners of the flap, just because I think it looks a little bit more finished then, and I use my Creative Memories corner rounder. I just pop it in there, clip those corners so they're nice and rounded, and then and I just want to make sure there's enough of a overhang from that top little flap. So I'll just cut this little excess off. And you can use score tape, but I find that this regular just adhesive runner works fine. And you want to run the tape along the two edges of the bottom portion, because you don't want it going further than, you don't want to run the glue here, because then you might accidentally glue the top portion as well before you put your item in the envelope. And you can round these corners as well if you'd like. I sometimes do that. And oh, I dropped it on the floor. This is the envelope for this little tag. And it should fit in. Yep. And then I just run a little bead of adhesive all along this edge at the top of the small flap. And there you go. So you can make an envelope that looks quite nice, I think, and with pattern paper. And this will travel just fine in the mail. You might want to reinforce your corners with, see, I cut that crooked, but you might want to reinforce your corners with clear tape, but this will travel in the mail just fine the way it is. And that's it. Quite simple. And I hope you find this useful. Thanks. Bye.